Hello and welcome back to another ServerVoid tutorial. In this episode, we will be going over the ops database FTP info jar and backups panel on the ServerVoid page. So first off, we'll go into ops. So when you first go into ops, you see everybody you have opt. So we have fade in op, which is my username. Uh, so you cannot add ops from this op. You do that from console or in game. But in here is just a quick and easy way to see everybody that is opt on your server. And if you want to remove them, it's a lot easier. And you can see exactly who it is that you are removing. So simply to remove, you just hit remove, and then it says op removed, and it removes me from the panel. Now to add an op, there are multiple ways to do this, but different ways to do this would be to say in game you could opt the player, or in the console area right here, if somebody is online, there would be a little op switch like add op button you could click, and that would add op. Or in console you can do op and then write the username of that person you want to opt. So by typing op fade in, it opted me. So when I go back to the op panel, we let it load for a little bit. It does take a little while to refresh that you have opt a person, but when it does, it loads up and says you have opt fade in. So that's really it. Besides that, it just tells you the op level, which is a level 4 for my op, and then the UUID, which is the ID of my user. And then that's really it. It also shows you the avatar. Sometimes it glitches out and shows you a Steve skin, but sometimes it works. Now, in database, you have the option to connect to MySQL, which is so you can link all your servers through Bungie. If you're running like Skywars or some sort of server that you needed in MySQL all the data together, you can do this through the MySQL database that ServerVoid provides you. Now I am blocking out the password just so you guys cannot log into the MySQL database of ServerVoid. But really besides that, there isn't much of an option. Now, this shows you all your login data if you wanted to log in by yourself, or you could just go down here and click the Access PHP My Admin, which will instantly send you to the website, so you don't have to bother with any of this other stuff, unless you need your password maybe. Now, it's just about the same in FTP. It shows you your host IP, your port, your username, and your password. Now, once again, I'm blocking out the password, so you cannot connect into the FTP. But there is the need for this is so if you're using an FTP client like FileZilla, it provides you with the information to connect to your server. So it'll ask you for your IP, you input this. It'll ask you for your port, you input this. It'll ask you for your username, you'd input this. You'd ask you for your password, you'd input this. Now, it's different for everybody depending on what your username is, or what your port is, or what your IP is. So you'll have to fill in the information as it is provided on the FTP information panel. After that, we have info, which is all your server's information, which shows the host's name, the game type, the game name, the version, the plugins, the map, the players, the max players, the host, the port, host, port, and IP, the raw plugins, and the software. Now this is all self-explanatory. It just runs you over what servers it's running, what's the server's name, game type, game name, what version of Spigot or Craft Bucket it's running on, what plugins it's running, what's its IP and a port. It's all pretty self-explanatory, so I don't have to go over much of this. But besides this, there is jars. Now in jars, this is stuff that ServerVoid has set up for you to install. If you wanted to install Minecraft 1.8.7, Craft Bucket 1.7.10, Spigot 1.8, or Spigot 1.8.7, all you'd have to do is click on the install button and it will install it for you. And you'll just simply need to restart your server for it to implement 1. Whatever version you use. Now if you wanted to custom install it, you'd have to go to configuration and add it custom, which will be another tutorial by itself, and we'll go over that later. But besides that, there is backups left, and what backups do are save your server, so if your server gets hacked and griefed, or you decide to revert it back because you didn't like the changes you made, you would back up the server. Now all you have to do is hit backup server, and it'll start a backup on the server. It'll let everybody on the server know that you're backing up. And then once the backup is complete, we will get back to the video. Okay, and so now the server backup is complete, and you can see right here at the bottom. The bottom is the nearest backup, is the newest backup. It says the date 12/11/22, which is the 16th of the year. It's the 11th month and the 22nd day. So you know this is the most recent backup, and if you wanted to restore, all you'd have to do is hit restore, and then all your files in this will be restored back to where they were when you made your server backup. And that's really it. You can do so much just by knowing all this information, and I've done previous tutorials on the server and configuration and console panels, so you guys can go back on the ServerVoid channel and check those out if you want. But thank you for tuning in to servervoid.com, and we will see you in the next tutorial.